Hi, I'm César Martinelli, Director of Social Science. And we'll continue with the presentation. I don't know if we will have the presentations in English or in Spanish, but following the norms here, the tradition, I'm going to be talking in Spanish. I'm the first one. And first of all, I would like to welcome you on behalf of ITAM and the principal of ITAM, and to thank our guests from Georgetown via satellite, and all friends and people we know, and Félix that comes in representation of the INEGI, but he's an old acquaintance, and he's a professor in our Department of Economy. And Enrique de Alba, it's a great pleasure to see you once again around here, and the authorities of CEPAL and INEGI and Treasury, the Bank of Mexico as well. I want to thank, first of all, Félix, Gerardo Leiva, Carlos Urrutia, that made a great effort to pull together this program. And that's it. I don't want to lose any more time, and I would just want to say that this measuring topics on productivity are very important for all. Or for us, it has been very important from the research perspective on macroeconomics on the ITAM, and it's a great pleasure to see that nowadays they are taking it very seriously by the institutions to carry out statistics in Mexico. Yesterday, we had a small debate on the Department of Economy. I'm going to not talk about those that were discussing the subject, but if it was correct that people or institutions that were in charge of doing this statistics at a national level would be doing this on models such as it is done on productivity. I had this doubt on my mind for a while. I'm a macroeconomist. I also belong to another discipline. But I was thinking about it, and I remember Schumpeter's quote, which is an old classic in economy, and on added value gross product and capital are a measure that reflect of the imagination of economists, and they are constructed according to models. And if these variables added are important and have been very important to guide economic policy in the past, well, productivity is also total productivity is also a variable to guide economics policies at present. And economic models are based. We sometimes forget that there are other economic models behind. So let's do the same thing on productivity. And on that sense, I'm very happy about this effort. And I would like to stop talking and I start hearing what you have to say. Now I give the word to Dr. Félix. Well, first of all, it's a great pleasure to be here at the ITAM. INEGI was created 30 years ago and a half, and the first president of INEGI was a graduate from ITAM, and that's the first time that there is a joint event organized by ITAM and INEGI. The next, I think, is going to be 2044, so let's enjoy today's event. It is a great pleasure for us to hold this event, and I have Ricardo Rodriguez that has prepared a checklist for the acknowledgement and things that are important for me to mention to you. What César is telling is experimental statistics. It's not being presented as official statistics, and I want to make that very clear. And with the reserves due to the case, it is not intended that it would be interpreted otherwise. And in other countries, in national institutions of statistics, that's how it is presented. There are not many national institutes that would have measured in such a way. No one else has done it in Latin America and the Caribbean region, just to state an example. And the CLEMS project creates data on growth, including productivity, capital, labor, and services. The results have been provided and given, and the work has been carried out jointly with the OECD and CEPAL, which is very well represented today. And in the seminary, we're going to be thinking about how we should read this data, what are the novelty that these figures bring to us, how they fit in the macroeconomic frame in Mexico, what do these numbers imply for macroeconomics policies, and the objective is to discuss the new information on changes and property and production in Mexico and its implications for growth. We believe that in the academy, we should be very critics, and this will be very useful in order to improve the numbers. And we want to thank ITAM, Carlos Urrutia, Director of Research Economic Center, obviously Mr. César Martinelli, PhD, Director of Social Science and Right, and that is the name of the department, and the Dean Deputy, and thank the attendance of Professor George Son, who has been a pioneer in the CLEMS project from CEPAL that has supported this project, ProShare from OCDE, who I also said hi, who accepted to come to Mexico just for a couple of hours because he had a problem with his agenda, and he's among us today. Thank you very much. Mr. Lopez Cordova, that as a high authority has been able to come and share with us some information, and Mr. Urrutia for sharing the information of resources and productivity with us, and the Colegio de Mexico, that due to the seminar that has been carried out today, enabled us to have the intervention of two spokespersons, and obviously to the staff of the INEGI that has been linked with the topic. I would not like to give names because I might forget one, and then I would be unfair to those who have been involved in this project. Well, thank you.